Hey everybody, it's Alan, and I hope that you are doing well. Today is a day we're going to celebrate the birthday of an absolute jazz guitar icon and hero. Mr. George Benson celebrates his birthday today, which is March 22nd. I've got a pretty funny story I will share about George Benson after the song. I've told it once before, but I'll tell it to you all again when the song is over. We're going to celebrate George Benson's birthday with his song Nassau Day. I love hearing every last note of that. So, George Benson's an interesting character. He kind of pioneered the whole bebop jazz thing, at least jazz guitar thing, and in a way made jazz music very palatable to a set of a set of listeners who probably wouldn't have listened to straight, hardcore jazz. Probably wouldn't listen to Ornette Coleman or Charlie Parker or you know, oh my God, John Coltrane or even Dizzy Gillespie or anything like that. But they would find this George Benson stuff very much palatable. And I know a lot of people out there, when they think of George Benson, the only thing they think of is On Broadway, which is it's a great song, okay? And the way he performs, it's absolutely fantastic. But it's kind of got that jazz meets dance disco vibe to it, as does this song, honestly, with the synths and the keyboards. I mean, it kind of has a little bit of an elevator music kind of vibe. But underlying behind that is spectacular musicianship. And so that's why I like hearing every last chords. Those octave things he was doing in the very end had this sort of West Montgomery kind of vibe to it. The bebop feel to it had a little bit of a cross between sort of Pat Metheny and Tuck Andrus, but then there's this other side of things that just are very articulated runs all around. And the song has wonderful tempo and key changes in it that's just absolutely spectacular. Always love Nassau Day. The funny story. So I was at the NAMM show, which is a National Association for Music Merchandisers show. It takes place just about every year down in Anaheim. And I was at the NAMM show. I want to say it was 2014 or 15. I cannot remember exactly. But me and my buddy, we went through the entire show. And at the very end, it's probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The show's kind of winding down for the day. I think it was a Thursday afternoon. And I always make sure to go across the street to the Marriott Convention Center, because that's where Yamaha almost always displayed. And Yamaha is such a massive company when it comes to musical instruments that they've got everything ranging from orchestral and band instruments to synths and guitars and drums and electronic drums and just about anything you want to musically Yamaha makes or offers. And so I went through the entire Yamaha area at the very end of the show, and then I needed to use the restroom. So I go into the restroom in the Marriott Convention Center in Anaheim, and as I'm standing there doing what I got to do, I hear off in the distance, way off in another room, I hear doon 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 doon. And I'm thinking to myself, great, another, typical band covering, a classic, George Benson version of Broadway or on Broadway. I'm like, God, I don't need to hear a cover band. But then I'm listening to it, and they're really pretty good. I should check this out after I'm done. So I wash up and I go out of the restroom, and my buddy and I were like, oh, let's find out where that music is coming from. And we walk across down this hallway and across the way and go through these closed doors. And I enter this really, really dark theater. And on stage is this band, and they're playing and they're just blistering. And it honestly took me probably about 30 seconds to realize that I was watching George Benson, and he's killing it. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. And then, they finish the song and they start, cutting each other up on stage. Those Yo Mama jokes and stuff like that going back and forth on the stage. And it dawns on me that I'm not at a George Benson show. I somehow or another snuck into George Benson's sound check and dress rehearsal. He's not wearing a suit. He's not looking all fancy or everything like that. And I look around in the dark theater and I'm like, there's only like 6 people in this place right now, other than the band and the sound guys and so on and so forth. There's only like 6 people sitting there. And I'm completely in the dark and nobody saw me come in. And I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to it. And so I only got about, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes of them playing. But it was spectacular because they didn't know anybody was listening. They were just playing. And it was kind of a magical moment. And I will never forget that for the rest of my life. I will always have that association with George Benson in my head. Anyway, happy birthday to the great George Benson. I mean, you are a legend and a guitar hero for a reason. It's not just because you sing. It's not just because you play bebop. It's not just because you did the song on Broadway. You're absolutely a massive, massive influence in the jazz world. And, like I said, hope you're celebrating your birthday well. Hope you all enjoyed this. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. We can talk about it further. So know that I appreciate all of you, and I wish you well. Take care.